Hey guys, we're going to be talking about charge characters today. I know a lot of you had asked about how to use charge characters. Charge characters are different from input characters, where input characters have to press directions and then a button to get a move to come out. Charge characters actually have to hold a direction for 2 seconds before they can get a move to come out. So for example, Balrog's dash punch looks like this. He holds back for 1 second, or I'm sorry, for 2 seconds, and then presses forward and punch, okay? And the dash punch comes out. When you press different strength punch buttons, the dash punch will go a little bit farther. You can see the hard punch version will go actually across the whole screen, and the EX will go across the whole screen also. Now, the number one thing that I can teach you about charge characters is don't just hold back when you're charging moves, okay? First of all, you're making it supremely obvious that you're charging your move, and you're giving your opponent space, okay? Street Fighter is all about fighting for positioning, fighting for space, moving your opponent to the corner, okay? When you're holding back like this, all Ryu has to do is walk forward, and it pushes me to the corner, okay? So we don't want to just be holding back like this because he knows that we're charging, he knows that the dash punch is coming, and it's super easy to react to, okay? I'm not going to really be able to hit anything from that distance. He has almost a full second and a half to react to that, okay? So we're not going to be hitting anything from that distance, okay? Instead, the number one thing that I can teach you is when we're charging with charge characters, we need to hold down back, okay? When you're holding down back, it's counting as pressing down and back at the same time. So I'm technically charging back for my dash punch, but I'm also charging down. Balrog's headbutt is an input move also. You hold down for 2 seconds, then you press up and punch. So it looks like this. Alright, let me let go. So I hold down, I press up, and the headbutt comes out like that, okay? However, when I hold down back, it's charging down, and then I move the stick to up back, and the punch comes out also, okay? So it's counting as charging down and back when I'm holding down back. So I have options from this angle here, okay? So when I hold down back, I can get my dash punch to come out. When I hold down back, I can get my headbutt to come out. So holding down back is quintessential to using charge characters. Now, with charge characters, you have to be able to reposition yourself, especially when you're holding down back. So I don't generally want to be holding down back like right here because Ryu can throw me, he can use an overhead and hit me. That's one thing you have to watch out for is when you're using down back, is he can overhead very easily. You can't make it so obvious. You can't just constantly be holding down back. So if I need to reposition myself, I have to be able to do this, okay? I need to be able to move myself back. Now, as you can see the stick on the left side, I'm holding down back, and I'm briefly going to back, and then I'm going back to down back, okay? So I'm repositioning myself so that I can get into better position, okay? So this is, I found, has been easier for me personally, is easier on the stick. I use a square gate. I can feel the down back corner, so I moved it back, and I just briefly move myself backwards, okay? So with the controller, I learned how to play on controller, guys, so it's something that you just have to practice, okay? None of this stuff comes natural to anyone. So one thing that I hated about controller was that it always hurt my thumb. So one of the tips I can give you, and I got a lot better doing this, was I was a little lighter with my thumb. I didn't press as hard, and I found that my thumb stopped hurting. I was actually more accurate. So just be a little bit lighter with your thumb, and you can become pretty good with charge characters on controller. A lot of really good players play on controller, so don't feel like you have to have a stick to play any of these characters, okay? There's people who use controllers, who use charge characters, who use input characters. Actually, a couple years ago, a guy named Luffy, who uses Rose, who is an input character, uses a controller, and he won Evo. So you don't feel like you have to have a stick to do any of this. It's just preference. So use what is comfortable to you. When we have our little get-togethers, there's all kinds of sticks and controllers, so you can kind of make a decision from there. That's the basics for charge characters. I hope that this helps. If there's any more specific questions, I'll make a part 2. And I hope this helps you guys. Have a good day.